Hey guys, Black Market Poke Shill here, bringing you another video today. So it has been a long time since I have had a video for you guys, and that's partly by design because I had and my wife had our twin baby boys. So it took some time off of making videos because they're busy, and they were born, June 14th of this year, and lots of work raising twin boys, especially in the newborn phase, and so that's what I've been doing, working lots, trying to make sure my wife doesn't have to work and she can stay home with the kids as long as possible. But I do want to, do keep making videos, and so here I am. Just so you know, we're still trying to get 50 subscribers, and once we get to 50 subscribers, we'll give away that black Caramel Metal EX boxes with 4 Surging Sparks packs and 4 Twilight Masquerade packs to a subscriber, plus the cards that we pulled out of one of those boxes. We will still be giving that away, so please like, comment, subscribe on this video, especially subscribe, please, guys, if you haven't. I do enjoy making these ranking videos like we're doing today. Do a lot of research to go into these things, and so just appreciate any support that you can give me, like or a comment or subscription. So, guys, without further ado, you can see today we are doing Raikou, the best of Raikou cards of all time. So, without further ado, there's 11 cards on this list. Remember, all of the cards here are near mint costs and stuff, and they're all in English. I don't rank any Japanese cards and stuff. It takes too much time. There's too many cards, and you go all the way into all the other languages. So this is just strictly English. So ranking in at number 11, my least favorite Raikou card that I could find here is the Raikou from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, card number 19. This card comes out of the 2010 Collector's Tint. Right now, I couldn't find any last solds of this card, but well, not last sold. Sorry, it comes from the fall collector's box, but collector's tin. But the lowest listed for the tin is 7K. I couldn't find any last sales for this tin. But for the card on TCG Player, remember the raw card value I find on TCG Player, and for PSA 10, I am going to eBay for last sold and lowest listed. So for the raw version of this card, the lowest listed for near mint is $89, and I could not find any PSA 10s on eBay of this card, and therefore there is no PSA 10 multiplier. And I think that is because there is only 3 of these cards in a PSA 10 in existence. As you can see there on my thing, and there's only 675 of these graded all times, giving it a gem rate of 0.4%. Currently on TCG Player, there are 3 cards listed. Now, one card is listed at $89, and then the other 2 are listed at $552 and $549. And there was 6 of these cards sold on TCG Player in the last 3 months. So it is a nice card, but it's not my favorite card by any stretch of the imagination. So that's why this card here ranks in at number 11 on my list of the best Raikou cards. Moving on to a Rocket Raikou number 108 from Deoxys, released in 2005. The raw card, according to GCG Player, is going for $400, and the PSA 10, last sold on August 6th of this year, uh, that went for $12,000. That gives this card a PSA 10 multiplier of 30x, or 30 times. Population report, there's 77 of these cards in a 10 out of the 1,939 graded. That gives this card a gem rate of 4%. And then currently on TCG Player, there are 5 listed, and no cards, no Rockets Raikou cards have sold in the last 3 months on TCG Player. So, and it's kind of a nostalgic card. The artwork is not my favorite, but it kind of gives me, if you guys have ever seen a reboot, this card kind of gives me like a mainframe, like reboot kind of vibe. But yeah, again, not really my favorite type of card, although in a PSA 10 it is an expensive card. So that's number 10 on my list of the best Raikou cards. Ranking in on number 9 is Raikou EX 105 out of 108 from Dark Explorers. This card, it comes from the set Dark Explorers, which was released in 2012. And the last sold for the Dark Explorers set, the booster box, was $21,000. The raw, this card goes for $490. And the PSA 10 is selling for $3,000. Right now, like, it just seems to be a little bit manipulated with the prices. They're kind of a little all over the place, and there is one seller selling this card 3 times, the exact same card with the exact same description, and then selling it, and then a couple days later selling it again, and all of those were for different prices. But the one that looked like it went through was for $3,000. That gives this card a PSA 10 multiplier of around 6 times, with a population report of 27 and a 10 out of 403 graded, giving it a gem rate of 7%. Currently on TCG Player, there is one listed with 2 sold in the last 3 months. This card's pretty darn cool. I like this card. I like the intimidating factor of the Raikou card here. He's kind of staring you down. But just the art style, not my favorite, and that's why it's ranked number 9. Here is Raikou Call of Legends number 9. Call of Legends set was released in 2001. As far as I could find, the last booster box for Call of Legends sold for $70,000. Raw, this card sells for $600 on TCG Player, and a PSA 10 sold for $32,000 on eBay recently. Gives this card a PSA 10 multiplier of 53x, and that is because there's only 17 of these cards in existence in a 10, with 639 graded, giving it a gem rate of 3%. Currently, there's 3 listed on TCG Player near mint, with 0 sold in the last 3 months. Raikou card, a little simple. I like the lightning and stuff in this card, but overall, not the greatest card. But again, ranking in here at number 8, I believe. Then the next card is Raikou EX 92 out of 95 from Team Magma versus Team Aqua. Lowest listed for the Team Magma Team Aqua box on eBay is $63,000. And raw, this card last sold this year for $200. But lowest listed right now is $450 on TCG Player, and there's only one left. So PSA 10. This card is lowest listed $50,000, but last sold was for $4,000. So there's a big discrepancy there. But that's what happens with these cards, that there's not the pop is really low. There's only 52 and a 10. So when there's not any on the market, the people that are willing to put the card on the market are the ones that get to decide the price. So that's why there's a big jump from 4K to 50K. Gem rate, because there's 1,088 of these graded, and 52 and a 10 is 5%. Currently on TCG Player, there's only one of these cards listed, and there was 3 sold in the last 3 months. Now, this card, I think, this is starting to get into the territory of the cards that I really do like. And keep in mind, Raikou, I think Raikou's my favorite Pokemon of all time, and so that's why this is one of my favorite videos to make. And this Raikou EX from Team Magma Team Aqua is a pretty sick looking card. Kind of has like a space vibe. The art style is a little bit more intricate and psychedelic almost, and I really like the artwork of this card, and that's why it is on this list here. Next is the Entei Raikou Legend card. The bottom part of the card. This is the ones where it has, the Entei on the top, the Raikou on the bottom, and you put the cards together to make one card. This card is from Unleashed, which was released in 2010. Last sold on TCG Player was $120, and lowest listed is $250. Uh, Unable to find any PSA 10s on the market, on eBay, anywhere. But that's because there's only 20 in a 10 out of 699 graded, giving it a gem rate of 3%. There's 2 on TCG Player currently, and there's 2 sold in the last 3 months on TCG Player. I like this card is different, than all of the other cards except for the next one you'll see coming up, and I like the realism. This is kind of like, it gives you that saber-toothed tiger feel with the Raikou, more realism in the artwork, and for that's why this is one of my favorite Raikou cards. Next we have the Raikou Legend, the top half of the Suicune Raikou card. Again from the same set, Unleashed. Unleashed was released in 2010 again, and it sold for around $22,000 that I could see. And the raw last sold was 175, but the lowest listed on TCG Player at this moment for this card is $600. PSA 10, we have no idea, because again, the population report is lower. There's only 14 in existence, giving a gem rate of 2%. Currently, there's 1 listed on TCG Player and 3 sold in the last month. Again, the reason why I like this card is it's just got that kind of realism artwork, almost like I don't know, this card just looks sick in my opinion. It's one of my favorite Raikou cards, and it looks like if you want to get it, the prices are going to start jumping up. Zoom being the lowest listed or 600. So I might be getting into the hobby in the last year and a half, 2 years and stuff. It might be past my time to be able to pick up one of these cards, but maybe not. We'll see. But I do really, really enjoy the artwork of this card. Next, we have the Raikou from Skyridge, H26 out of 32, the holo version. Lowest listed on eBay for the Skyridge booster box is $300,000. This Raikou e-reader card sold for $800 on a TCG Player, and a PSA 10 on eBay selling for $6,500. That gives it an 8 times PSA 10 multiplier. The gem rate for one of these older cards is actually fairly high. It's 17% because there's 156 out of 893 in a 10, giving a gem rate of 17%. So that's why the PSA 10 multiplier is actually kind of low for a card that's almost 25, 30 years old. Currently on TCG Player, there's 1 moderately played, and last sold near mint on eBay was $800. So there's no near mint cards. So I correct myself before. The 800 raw was not on TCG Player. There is no near mint cards on TCG Player. The last sold near mint was on eBay for $800. So no near mints, and 1 lightly played sold in the last 3 months. So this card, obviously very nostalgic card, back from the childhood days. Again, a nice looking card, action card. The one thing I don't like about it is, it doesn't really show the teeth. It's hard to see the teeth. It kind of looks more like the outline of Raikou's mouth, but yeah, it does show the teeth, but it's just a little harder to see. Kind of looks like a toothless cat, but other than that, this card looks pretty darn sweet. So next up is this is number 3 on the list. It's Raikou number 13 out of 64 from Neo Revelations. Neo Revelations was released in 2001, and the lowest listed on eBay for that booster box of Neo Revelation is $130,000. Buy a house, and get a get a couple packs of Pokemon cards. Crazy, right? Raw. This card, it goes for about $230 in the unlimited version, or $490 in the first edition version. PSA 10 is $40,000 for the first ed edition. The first edition card is last sold, and the lowest listed is 30K currently. PSA 10 multiplier is 80x, and that's because there's only 37 of these cards in a 10 out of 1630 graded with a gem rate of 2%. Currently on TCG Player, there's 3 unlimited and 3 first edition cards, and sold in the last month there's 10 in unlimited and 2 first edition cards. One of the reasons why this card ranks so high for me, obviously the nostalgia, but Neo Revelation is probably my favorite Pokemon set of all time. Especially since it features all the legendary dogs or the legendary beasts, and those are my favorite Pokemon growing up playing Crystal and Gold and Silver. So these cards, this set is my favorite card, and I just kind of most of the Raikou cards are a little bit more obscure, or they have lots of things going on. This one's just a nice card. Raikou's just resting, relaxing, but also kind of a little bit on guard. For that, it's ranked number 3 on my list. Next is probably the one of the most expensive cards on this list is the Raikou Gold Star, number 114 from Unseen Forces. Unseen Forces was released in 2005, and the lowest listed and last sold is around $120,000 on eBay. Right now on TCG Player or eBay, I can't remember where I found this price, but I think this one was still on TCG Player. But the raw price is going for $1,500. The PSA 10 is anywhere from $15,000 to $17,000, and that gives you a 10x PSA 10 multiplier. There's 387 of these cards in the 10, and almost nearly 4,000 graded, giving you a gem rate of nearly 10% on this card. Currently on TCG Player, there's 1 card in near mint, and one sold in the last 3 months. Now, if this is number 2 on my list for a reason. It's whoever drew this card did a wonderful job drawing Raikou on this card, and the way that the paw of Raikou almost just comes reaching out of the card, and it's an action card and kind of shows the muscles in the chest and the leg. It just really strikes it with me, and I really like this card, and that's why it is ranked at number 2 on my list. Now, number 1 on the list is, any guesses? Put guesses in the comment before you skip ahead. Raikou V from the Glaring Gallery and Crown Zenith. This is my favorite card of all the Raikou cards currently. So the Raikou V in the Glaring Gallery comes from Crown Zenith, which was released in 2023. It is not a booster box set. It only has ETBs as the main item, and they are selling for around $300. Currently, this card is around $43, $45 raw on TCG Player. And PSA 10 is going for somewhere between $200 and $300, giving you a 4 to 5x, maybe 6x PSA 10 multiplier. That's because there's so many of these in a 10. There's 14,850 in a 10 out of 26,000 graded, giving you a better than 50% gem rate. Currently on TCG Player, there's 212, and there was 322 sold in the last 3 months. So one of the artwork, the background of this card, the way that it just makes Raikou looking, going super fast. The lightning in the background almost looks like he's going light speed. My favorite animal growing up was a cheetah, and that's why this card has a little nostalgia for me, even though it's not an old card. It's only 3 years old, but this card is pretty darn sick. I love the speed aspect, the action. Raikou's just going like a thunderbolt through here, and I love this card. I have a few of this card in my personal collection, and I will always love this card, and I'll probably buy more cards, but I do need to still pick one up in a PSA 10. Now, I did, however, I know that's the end of the rankings for this video, but I did put an honorable mention because there is going to be a new Raikou card that comes out in November with the new set Delta Rain. So I kind of put that card here as honorable mention. But here is the Raikou SIR Delta Rain, but I didn't put it in the ranking because it's not currently out in English. It's only out in Japanese. But I will tell you that this card, I have it now in Japanese, and it is a stunning card in person. Uh, I whew, I just got it in the mail today from Japan. My gosh, I love it. If you like, the Gen 2 Pokemon, the legendary beasts, this card, wow, this SAR is just brilliant, wonderful. So once this card comes out into English, it might take the number one spot on the list, but right now it's just an honorable mention because the English version does not exist yet, but it will exist coming November of 2026 this year. So we'll see what the raw and the PSA 10 and the population reports go for, but I will definitely be picking up this card in English as well. Guys, thank you for waiting so long for me to make another video. Thank you for watching this to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be a part of the giveaway once we get 50 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys watching this through to the end. I'll be making more videos more regularly, and we'll go from there. So please, guys, just have a wonderful day, and I will be out. Peace.